Hey everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And today is a VIP expert day, and we got two times. We got two experts here today because the Hindsight hackers are in the building. So sit right there. We'll be right back.
Expert Talk is sponsored by Pod Nation TV, the podcast to broadcast network.
That's right. You heard me right. Ron and Cory are here, the Hindsight hackers, and we're going to talk about when is it time to take your audio podcast to video. Hey, are you out there?
What is going on, Tigo? Thanks again for having us.
Thanks for being back. And okay, I got to ask Ron, when is it time to do it in video?
All the time, anytime, whenever you can.
Okay, somehow we got to a different show. Anyway, back to the show.
Anytime.
Tigo XXX. I don't know.
You look, at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, you're recording in a format that has a video, right? And people will respond to you more if they can see you, right? Not just hear you, but see you. Especially if you want to get your message out there, or if you're trying to sell them a service, they want to get to know, like, and trust you. And they want to be able to see you, look in your eyes, and understand a little bit more about you. And it's easier to do that when you're on a video type platform, very similar to everything that Pod Nation TV does.
Exactly, right? Thank you for that little plug. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So what about the people, Cory, that say, I can do audio, I have no problem, but I have a face for radio. I'm not going to put on a camera.
Yeah, I think really just to expand on what Ron was saying helps answer this question, because when you're having an interview with somebody, you're actually able to see their eyes, and the conversation is better. The response is better. You can read the body language better. And so overall, that is going to be such a much more engaging conversation. And so why not just hit the record button, right? Why not just have it record in the video? And so a lot of people still only publish audio, but they're actually recording in video. And so you might as well utilize it in other ways. And then to expand on that, when you're doing an actual solo podcast or solo recording, again, do it the exact same way you do interviews, because you're going to be better the more consistently that you do something, right? So if you're doing the same setup, you're in the same place to record your solos or your interviews, you're on the same computer, you're on the same microphone, your light is on the same way, like everything stays consistent, whether you're recording a solo podcast or an interview, then it just makes it that much easier to execute. And so you have better conversations, it's more engaging with video. So just hit record all the time. And that we like to tell people, just record with the video to start, and then you'll eventually get comfortable, and then you can start utilizing that video for other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, totally. So what about the charts that you guys talk about? When you talk about Apple Music and blah, 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 and you say the charts. If you're on video, are there charts that you can get rankings in there, or are you still only getting your rankings through the audio side?
You're still just getting it through the audio side. However, you're getting noticed on different platforms like YouTube or Pod Nation, and you're able to reach different audiences, because every platform has their, every social platform, everyone's like, "Ooh, I love this one," and then that's where they're at, right? So if you're publishing where your audience is at, it doesn't matter which platform, they're getting your content out there how they want to receive it.
And how important is, like, we worry about lighting, we worry about sound, we worry about all of that. When you first get started, that can freeze you up. If you don't feel like your lighting's not, quite right, your sound's not quite right, you're shooting maybe with your phone and you don't think that's professional enough. Can you just get started with whatever you have right now and grow into that, more professional environment?
Absolutely. And again, we teach this all the time. Ron and I, you go listen to our very first episode or handful of episodes, and you hear the quality of A, us talking is bad, but B, the stuff we're using is not that great, right? And people get to hear the journey where it does become a little bit more professional and you can relate more. But if you start off the gate and it sounds perfect and sounds like you've been doing it for 5 years, then nobody else is really going to relate to that message. And so, yes, definitely, you can do it with your phone. You can do it with a computer. I mean, Ron and I, when did we buy our first microphone? Like episode 50? I mean,
right around 50.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Again, they can do this whole thing, podcasting thing, for absolutely free, right? But if you want to have a couple of niceties, if you want to have people helping through the way, right, then there's different costs that can happen. And then from a microphone perspective, like you can get a good microphone for $80 on Amazon, or you can go spend $250 for a really good one. But most people starting out, they don't need either one of those.
Or you don't use one, even though we have one.
Yeah, it's somewhere on Ron's desk is a microphone that's not plugged in right now.
It's right there. It is right here, and it's not plugged in. It's right here. It's a great microphone. It's a
great microphone. You just decided not to give us that professional sound.
I understand. It is the craziest thing. I don't use it because what happens is I would talk like this all the time. I would talk into the microphone.
Like a radio DJ in the middle of the night.
It was just not, it wasn't the right feel for me.
It wasn't the right feel. The fun, like laid back vibe that we try to have, like that a microphone like that in the face didn't work. Now, if we set up like a boom arm and stuff like that, we could probably get it to work in that same sense. But the way we've had it, like it didn't fit. So
no, I get you, because I've got 4 podcast mics around here, and I got to laughs because I didn't want that mic right in front of my face, and I move a lot when I'm talking. So it's like when it's there, you got to be, in that direction, because it's a directional mic. You got to be in that direction, or your voice sounds like somebody is waving their hand in front of your face while you're talking. So I totally get it. And we talked earlier before we went on, we're about to cross 300 episodes. As a matter of fact, we just did cross 300 episodes. And thank you so much. But if you go back to those first 99, yeah, they were interesting at best. And I've been in production for a very long time, but I've been in it behind the camera, not sitting in front of it. And the best way to get, your feet wet is to get your feet wet. Just start doing it, and I tell everybody, start with people for your interviews. Start with people so that and for me, I tell them don't go live first. Record them. Pre-record them. Start with people so you have a chance. If you want to edit them, you can, and you can stop and restart and all that kind of stuff and not feel panicked over it. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, again, just like you're talking about, whatever is as frictionless as possible for that individual. So if that person is more comfortable, because a lot of people, through the past years got comfortable doing a Facebook Live, but then you go and you're not necessarily live, and people can stumble and they just, it's not that routine. So if you're more comfortable with live, then do that. But if you're afraid of that little red box that says live, then like you said, just go record on Zoom and do it that way first. And then again, just keeping things simple. I mean, Ron and I, when we started, Ron used to edit our show, and every time we said or paused or repeated or whatever,
it
wasn't perfect. And Ron would spend hours editing.
That's hours.
Right. And it's like, then we got so tired of that we went 6 months where we were only live, and it literally went from live on StreamYard to published on our on the podcast platforms. And we didn't edit out a single thing. So
Yeah,
it doesn't
great.
matter. Just do whatever that person's comfortable with.
Yeah, it was great.
So people that are watching right now, they're going, okay, I'm going to do it. Maybe they did it once or twice and they felt like, oh, this is terrible. And the only person that watched was their mom or maybe their kid. And they said, I'm never doing it again. But now they're thinking, I'm going to do it. What kind of length should they be looking at? Because podcasts can go kind of long. And, right now we're on a 9 at 9. We're doing a 9-minute interview. So what's the average that you guys recommend for people to do a video interview?
No longer than 30 minutes.
I would say, 30 minutes is the right amount of time for people to listen. Sometimes from a video perspective, that is even too long.
Yeah.
And, but for a real good interview, you might end up 40 to 45 minutes. So, again, we're from a podcast perspective, we want to try to keep everything around 30 and even in the audio, if it's a really good conversation, maybe 45. But from the video perspective, we're going to break it down and to do things more like what you do with the 9 at 9. And so, we may lose, 20 minutes of an interview and just focus on 2 segments that are really good content for 10 minutes each, that kind of thing from a video perspective.
Yeah, we were live on Facebook
Love
for
it.
8 hours. 8 hours live on Facebook.
Oh, let's not do that. All right. Tell everybody how they get in touch with you. How do they reach out?
Any of the social channels, you can reach out to us, gethhm.com. That's our website, or Profits with Podcast. It will help you launch your podcast and get you everything you're going to need, so you don't have to worry about copy, graphics, editing, none of that.
You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being a VIP expert. I can't wait to see what we're going to talk about next month. And, you got to keep coming back more often. I missed you guys.
I missed you too.
Oh,
Yeah, well, you keep inviting and we'll keep showing up.
Yeah, we might
Awesome.
have to come out to Vegas and do it live. That's what we might.
Ooh,
That's
now
what I
we're
would
talking.
rather do.
Let's
I would
do that.
rather,
Let's
like,
do
I know
that.
we've got one more scheduled, but maybe the one after that is all about live and in your studio together. That would be a blast.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. When we do a live one in Las Vegas, you better watch. It's going to be so much fun because these guys are so funny, and you don't even want to know what goes on behind the scenes. Yeah, on the video. Yeah. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you come back next time. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.